Hey, world travelers and thrill seekers, welcome to another wild ride with But Did You Die? Featuring the Jet Sisters. We're the second most popular sibling podcast out there.
Yeah, right behind New Heights. I'm Rachel, and this is my big sister, Angie. We are here to dish out some travel tips, news, and of course, share the hilarious and, yes, sometimes disastrous moments from our own adventures.
So strap in, folks, because we're about to take you on a journey where every misstep turns into a story, and every story ends with one big question. But did you die?
Hello, everyone, featuring Nora. Um, it's been a minute. Our last episode was Halloween, and then holidays happened, and everyone's been very busy, but we're back. We're better than ever. One of us looks like a vampire. You decide who.
It's you.
It's me. I'm not this pale.
I feel like you have the Twilight filter on your face or something.
I don't think I'm this pale, but here we are.
But speaking of great movies,
Yeah.
let's talk about Wicked, because I finally saw it. And let's also point back to the last episode we did was Wicked themed. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I was green, I was Alphaba, Ray was Glinda, and it was definitely our most listened to episode ever.
Was it?
I don't know.
Sure. Hey,
No idea. I literally have no idea.
I liked Wicked more than I thought I would, because I usually do not like musicals that are turned into movies. Like Les Mis, wasn't a fan. So I think I had low expectations for Wicked, but it was so good.
I loved it. I loved it so much. I've seen Wicked so many times on Broadway because it was close to my house. And so on the way home from work, I could literally go to the lottery, drop my name in, and like get tickets for right then. And I did. I won several times. So I went to Wicked a lot. And you know what I always forget is how as soon as the music starts, I'm going to lose it. Like I am immediately crying and like, oh, I forgot how powerful this is. And Rick went with me, and that happened to me in the movie theater. And I was just like on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And we were 90 seconds in, and I was losing it. So it was good. It lived up to every expectation I didn't even know I had. And I thought it was also fresh. Like it was a fresh take. There was enough new stuff that it wasn't just like a carbon copy. And I really appreciated what they added to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the music's so powerful. I'm with you on like the first 90 seconds. You're just like overwhelmed with everything. I did not cry, which me in my current state, very surprised I did not cry. I can't wait for the second one. Didn't know they already filmed it. Love. So that's coming
super
out next
smart.
year.
That's really smart because you never know if somebody's going to die.
Yikes. Well, you've got the set. You've got everything made up. You just keep going. I have a feeling. I mean, the next one won't be as long. It can't be. But, ooh, it's going to be, I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, enough about Wicked because I could go on for days.
Because last night I'm laying in bed and I'm having all these theories and all these thoughts. And this is Rick's first time ever seeing Wicked ever. He's never seen it, even the stage show. And so he had no idea about anything. And I'm like, do you get what happened there? Do you know what happened? And finally, after quite a while of humoring me, he was like, I have to go to sleep. And I was like, but don't you want to talk about the wizard and the themes?
When's the last time he watched The Wizard of Oz? He's not thinking that way.
No.
Also, no spoilers, so don't say anything.
No.
Yeah.
I won't. It's so clever. I just love it. Mm-hmm. So, yes, we'll be done with Wicked now. Let's talk about
our Spotify Wrapped. Well,
yeah, you have this on the list. You have this on our list, but I don't have that.
Yeah, well, you have Apple, which I saw a hilarious TikTok yesterday of like people bullying people with Apple Music and not Spotify.
I have a bundle of Apple things, and it's got the Apple Plus, the TV thing, and it's got the music, it's got Apple Fitness, and it's got all this, I don't know, storage or something. I don't know what I have or what I pay for anymore, but I cannot pay for another subscription.
I know why you don't understand technology, because you have the worst technology. Apple Music is trash. Anyway.
I do understand technology.
To no one's surprise, it was all Taylor Swift. But I
want to
read, I want to read you what my top artists were for the year. And honestly, I wonder if you could guess. I doubt you could because it's very strange. Okay, so number 1 is Taylor Swift. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. Number 2, if you had to guess. It's pretty easy. This one's easy.
Chappell Roan?
No.
Sabrina
Jonas
Carpenter?
Brothers.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, number 3 threw me hard. Lizzo.
Do you really listen to that much Lizzo?
I didn't think so. I don't know why. Very strange, but okay. Then number 4 is Chappell Roan. That makes sense, but I can't imagine I listened to more Lizzo this year.
No, she didn't have new songs out, right?
No. Okay, number 5. Any band. Guess any band. What do you think?
Molly Hatchet. No, Creed.
No.
Creed.
That would be good, but it wasn't Creed.
I don't know.
It is none other but the Icelandic Eurovision Daddy Fryer.
Yeah.
How? Yeah, I feel like I must be the only American to have them on our Spotify, on my Spotify
That's
rap.
Pretty
very
funny.
Strange.
Like your top 5? That's
it's so poppy. I mean, they're pop. I don't know. It's weird. That made me giggle. What is yours?
I don't know. I didn't screenshot that.
Spotify.
Yeah, they like your year in review on Apple Music is like a video. So the only stuff I got from it, I had to like screenshot to be able to look at it and share because it's sort of, but it's all Taylor Swift. Every single month, Taylor Swift was my most listened to artist. Anyway.
Very nice.
I'm not getting Spotify. So let's get into travel news of the week. Thanksgiving is in the rear view, and all the statistics are saying it was the busiest week ever, including TSA said it was the busiest day ever for commercial air travel in the U.S. Like millions and millions and millions of people were flying and also driving.
I am so happy we do not have to fly for really any holiday, but Thanksgiving.
That is the benefit of living kind of close to the fam. I used to fly. Well, I flew home once, I think, when I lived in New York City and was like, no, thank you. We'll never be doing that again. And so then I either alternated staying in the city because I lived blocks away from Times Square and where the parade happens. So I would go to the parade. Why not? Mm-hmm. Or I would fly to Hawaii and just like dip on the whole situation. That's one way to do it. Yes.
Hawaii. Well, that brings us to our topic of the week, which is
Kauai. It's the Garden Island of Hawaii. It's the oldest island in the island chain. Well, actually, I guess Niihau is probably older. I don't know. But the oldest one you can like visit without shenanigans. I love Kauai. I've been there, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. How many times have you been to Hawaii, Ray?
Well, you keep promising to take me, and I'll give you this one. You did invite me on this one.
I did,
but
indeed.
I could not go. Yes, Kauai, which is one of how many islands in Hawaii?
Several.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little island chain. I want to say it's the most, oh gosh, how do they put it? It's like the most geographically separate landmass in the world because it's so far away from like anything else. It is just like its own world. It's got its own species, its own animals, its own birds, its own everything that in a lot of cases you cannot find anywhere else because it's so far away. Yeah.
It's so far away. I've never been. Sounds fun, but
it's super fun. Yeah. Well, I should say it's far from the East Coast. Not so far from the West Coast. It's like a 4 or 5 hour flight, depending on which island you go to. And they literally have flights for like $200 round trip. And if I lived in California, I would basically live in Hawaii because I would go there every time I could get a cheap flight. Sometimes.
So you just got back from Kauai. Well,
yes.
Hawaii, many places, but yes. Today we are talking about Kauai. This was your 100th time visiting. You usually go for the election year. So you're back on track. So tell us, Ange, where did you stay?
Yeah. So we have an uncle who lives in Kauai. So in 2004, my college graduation present was he flew me out and put me up for a couple of weeks. And so I fell in love with Kauai then. And that's one of the reasons I haven't been to all the other islands, because I'm like, Kauai is my jam. I love it so much. And in all these visits, I mean, we only stayed 3 nights this visit, which was wildly stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. I cannot go to Kauai for only 3 days. And my favorite spot on the island, I have a very hard time picking favorites of anything, as you know. But if I had to pick like a favorite place, a place I would want to wake up like every day for the rest of my life, it would be Hanalei Bay, which is this big, beautiful bay with beautiful beaches and palm trees and cute little towns, right on the north shore of the island. So it's spectacular. I love it so much. I actually get excited when I go there. And I don't always get excited when I'm traveling. I'm kind of like, yeah, we're going to a place, whatever. I actually get excited for Hanalei Bay. So there's this hotel that is sort of perched over the bay, and I've always wanted to stay there. Now, when I went there in 2004, I had like less than $0 to my name. So, my uncle was like putting me up in B&Bs with friends, and they were like trading fruit for my accommodations, stuff like that. But I always wanted to stay at this super luxury hotel, and it's changed brands so many times. But now it's one hotel, Hanalei Bay, and the one hotel brand is like sustainable but luxury, spa, gourmet food, like all the things I've grown to love as an adult who now does have money in my bank account. It's very splurgy, very expensive. And I really went back and forth like, do we really need to do this? Because you get to a point where you spend X amount per night and you're like, that is insane. That is foolishness. But they did give me a media discount and I really wanted to try it. So we splurged. We stayed the whole 3 nights there, and it was amazing. First of all, the lobby smells so good. When you go to a luxury hotel and it just smells.
Nope.
Anybody listening, do you know when you go to a luxury hotel? Yes. Even some of the hotels at Universal, they have like signature kind of lobby scents. It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay, that's fair. The Hard Rock has a scent that I really like. So
yes. So It smelled great. It's been like millions of dollars of renovations. So it's just, they got organic gardens on the roof, and it's just perfect. It's right on a little beach that you can snorkel off of if the waves aren't crazy, which in the winter, the North Shore of Kauai, the waves are crazy sometimes. But it's just the most amazing view. You can see everybody surfing, all the surf breaks in Hanalei Bay. Like, where can you even see people surf like that? So amazing. We didn't get to go to the spa, which was a huge motivation for me to stay at this hotel. And for multiple reasons, some my fault and some not, we didn't get to go to the spa at all. I didn't even see the inside of it. So I will have to go back and check it out. And the other thing is we only stayed 3 days. And when you're trying to cram 3 days worth of activities and like seeing people and doing a tour or doing a hike or whatever, you don't actually get much time at your hotel. So I felt really weird about not having as much time at the hotel, because when you spend on a hotel like that is in just the most spectacular location in the world, you kind of want to enjoy it. And so we didn't get to enjoy it as much as I would have liked to. But
yeah, it's kind of like
I would do it again.
You need 3 days at the hotel to do nothing but hotel, and then 3 days at some janky Airbnb to then go out and do whatever you want. It sounds like
that's the reality of it. And I think because I've probably spent 3 months of my life on this island, non-consecutively, but so I don't know. I was just like, yeah, I don't need a lot of time there. We'll pop in and see Uncle Bruce and it'll be quick. And no, it was very rushed. So, but I will say, loved that hotel. Loved it. Would stay again. Would stay in the swankiest room they have if I won the lottery. But in the meantime, I will be in the broom closet next time. And it was lovely.
All right. So let's talk. Let's pretend we're going to Kauai and we're not staying at this hotel. We want to do other things. So what are the things to do on this island?
What I like about Kauai, I guess they're all outdoorsy islands, but everything is kind of Like, let's look at this amazing view or formation or whatever from 1,000 different perspectives. So the Nepali coast is probably the most popular footage you see, or the most popular postcard you would see from Kauai. And it's this edge of the world, complete wilderness. It's green. It's like these long mountainy fingers that reach into the ocean. And you can't just drive there. You either have to take a boat tour of some sort, like a catamaran, or take a helicopter where you're sort of flying in and out of the valleys and seeing all the waterfalls. Or you have to hike in, which is, we'll talk about that. But it is stunning. I've seen it in every way. I would say every way for me involves motion sickness. So like, yeah, I pretty much throw up no matter what it is. But like, I've done the helicopter tour several times. I've also done it by a prop plane. Hard to describe how beautiful and vast and just wild it is, and green. And to see, I don't know, dozens of waterfalls, and also the Jurassic Park soundtrack is playing in your headphones.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crying moment. It's very much like the opening of Wicked. You're like, it's happening. Where are the dinosaurs? But there's no dinosaurs, fortunately. So yeah, I would say definitely do the helicopter. And then to see it from another perspective, you can do the catamaran sail to the coast. And the one that we did years ago also has snorkeling. So you can go kind of like snorkeling with the turtles, and then you keep cruising along, and then all these dolphins just come up, and you're just cruising through the water, and the dolphins are just everywhere. Like, I was looking down, and like standing on the very front of the boat looking down, and there's just dolphins. Psh, 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 psh. Spectacular. And I'm trying to video that on my phone, and the seas are like this. So that was the first time I ever threw up on a boat.
That's crazy that the ocean was like that.
Shut up, idiot. Okay, so definitely have to see the Nepali coast. And then there's a ton of other stuff to do. There's tours, lots of tours. There's a chocolate tour at one of the farms that is really good. There's rum tastings they have like a rum distillery. There's all those, all the kind of things you would expect. Lots of snorkeling. There, you can do surf lesson. They have a couple of luau's, which I'll be honest, I've never done a luau until this year, and I didn't get to do it in Kauai. We did it on the Big Island. But and then the other thing that I love in Hawaii is a farmer's market, because you're just actually talking to people that live there, people that grow things, and you're trying fruit. Like, if you've never had fruit grown 100 feet from where you are standing, then you just don't know. But like the pineapple there, it's different. The bananas, it's different. Yeah, go to a farmer's market. I would, buy souvenirs there, buy local art. Our uncle makes all kinds of art. He does woodworking. Like, that's the kind of people you find at a farmer's market, is people who just like love what they do, and they have hobbies and they're good at them, and they just want to share that kind of stuff. So definitely do that.
Are people generally nice to tourists? I know Hawaii is like a huge destination, but sometimes I hear things like it's not super welcome because, people ruin things. But what, in your experience, like how is that?
I have never had a problem with anybody really anywhere in Hawaii. Mostly everybody is very welcoming. And yeah, I think there's probably a fine line for everybody within sort of the Hawaiian community and Hawaiian culture, because they want to maintain this rich heritage that they have. And the way to do that is to kind of welcome other people in. But by welcoming other people in, then are you kind of diluting it? So I think it's probably that way with any tourist destination. You want the money, and you want to share your culture, but what's the line? And so, yeah, I think the Hawaiian Islands face that just as hard as any destination does. But I've always met very, very friendly people.
Was it anything like White Lotus? Was Jennifer Coolidge there?
I wish. She's amazing. Yeah, no, nothing quite that exciting. Honestly, we were just on the go so much this particular visit. But yeah, you meet a lot of characters. And
well, our uncle being one of them.
Exactly. I mean, he's lived there like, I don't know, 30, 40 plus years. He is basically a local at this point.
I've never met our uncle.
Yes, you have.
Not in
Not as an adult.
29 years.
Right. Not in a.
Yeah.
You're not 29.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, did I meet him when it was 2, and then
Maybe.
that was it?
Maybe.
I will say, every couple years, he does send us chocolate-covered macadamia nuts, and that is the best thing.
They're the best.
Bruce, it's been a couple years. Where are they? I'll send you my new address.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and he sends us hand-carved bowls out of mango wood, and yeah, it's awesome to have an uncle who lives in Hawaii. Let's talk about another way to see the Nepali coast and experience the Nepali coast. This will be following into our disaster segment of this episode.
Well, disaster for you.
Listen. Well, we'll just start with a description. So this hike that Rick and I
Angie went on a hike. And that's her disaster.
Shut up, loser.
Sorry, proceed.
Okay. Well, you know what? I can't wait for you to do this hike and for your stupid leg to fall off, because it is not a walk in the park, ma'am. This is the Hanakapia'i Falls hike, and it's a part of what's known as the Kalalau Trail. There's like 11 or 12 miles sort of to the heart of the Nepali coast. There are no roads forever. Like, you can't call anybody. It is gnarly. And so that's a 12-ish mile walk all the way to this camping area, and you have to have a permit for it. I can tell you with 100% certainty that I'm never doing that hike, because I'm not sleeping outside, and no, I will be at the one Hotel Hanalei Bay. Thank you very much. But there's a shorter hike that it takes you up to the beach, which, fun fact, is the most dangerous beach in Hawaii. And then you turn left and go 2 miles inland to this spectacular 300-foot waterfall called Hanakapia'i. So it's an 8-mile round trip. I think I forgot that when I decided to do this. I was thinking it was like 4 miles, like 1 mile, 1 mile each leg, but it's 2 miles each leg. Okay. Not ideal.
Does All Trails say it's moderate?
I don't know, but afterwards I was looking up All Trails because I was like, what is this foolishness? And what people say, the reviews are so wildly different. Some people are like, I can't believe anybody thought this was hard. I've never been on an easier hike in my life. And I'm like, I died 5 times in the middle of this hike.
What's it called again?
Hanakapia'i Falls. You walk your first 2 miles along the coast, which is not super easy, but it's not that hard. Like, that's the easiest part. You go down to the beach, which I found out has the most drownings of any beach either in Hawaii or the US. And it's because people don't listen, and there's no one to save you. There's no lifeguards. There's just nobody out there. And the waves are, I don't know, 25 feet tall sometimes, and they're just crashing right on the shore. And you got like Susan from Iowa who's just standing there with her back to the waves, just standing right there, and people get swept out much more often than you can imagine. It's really, really bad. And so, yeah, let's talk about the dangerous things about this hike and why it was a disaster for us. Since the last time I did it, they've added a couple signs that are like, stay clear. This is a helicopter rescue spot, because it's that necessary, because people are pretty frequently having to get rescued. The problem is there is no cell service out there. So you can't just call 911. Like, you have to be close to dying, be in some kind of severe injury. You've got like a exposed bone or something at this point, and somebody has to go out and call somebody and tell them that you're in there. So like, at any point, you are many hours away from any kind of assistance. It's super duper slippery. I don't necessarily remember that from last time. But like, if I hadn't found a walking stick at the beginning of the trail, I would have died 15 minutes in. Like, I would have fallen into the ocean from 100 feet, and I would be shark bait by now. Really, really slippery. When you get to the waterfall, so 4 miles doesn't sound like that much. You are scurrying over, like, straight up over slippery rocks and several river crossings. like rocky river crossings. So you're like this rock, that rock. Of course, Rick with his super long legs is just like frolic, frolic, frolic. He's fine. He's not overly concerned about breaking a hip or a knee. And I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't go on. Your shoes get wet and then it's all over. So, really gnarly. So you get to the waterfall. It is beautiful.
Wait, what shoes did you have on for this?
I had tennis shoes on.
Just your regular tennis shoes you bought from Target?
Yeah.
Okay, that's important. Okay.
Yeah, so I had those on, but the reason that I wore those is because I have learned from past hikes that your shoes will be ruined afterwards. And you will throw them.
Your Target sneakers will be ruined, but like maybe some waterproof hiking boots would have been the move.
I mean, maybe.
Hike.
Yeah, I don't know why I was treating it like a day at Disneyland.
Right, of course it was slippery. You're wearing you would have been better going barefoot.
Hodge has done the hike barefoot. Our brother has done that entire hike barefoot. Like a strange little caveman that he is. Yeah. It probably would have been. And I saw several people. I saw people in flip-flops. I saw people in full hiking gear with like a pack and, a kettle and all this stuff. There were people running. Mm-hmm. And then there was me. Like, I'm dying.
Like crawling over a rock on you with your hands. Like, help me.
That's exactly what was happening. That is exactly. Yes. And that's another thing I should say. If you are small, this is going to be way harder for you. Another thing, so you get to the waterfall and you can swim in it. It's freezing, like colder than Ginny freezing. And a lot of people want to swim under the waterfall because it's very like romantic and beautiful. But there are rocks falling from 300 feet up. They're probably not huge, but they might be. And that would be the end of you. Because nobody's coming to save you all the way in there. So that's crazy too. There are also, and this is new to me this year, wild boars that you have to watch out for. Rick was like, those are hoof marks. I was like, hoof marks? Because there's really not predators on this island, which is great. You're not, it's nice to be in the wilderness when you're not worried about bears, mountain lions, stuff like that. That is a super pro. But wild boars will also mess you up. So I was glad to have the walking stick for that. We didn't see any, but according to my husband who knows about this stuff, there were fresh tracks and fresh evidence of recent boars. And I saw that on all trails as well. People said they encountered them. So fun. I guess what I'm saying is
sounds great.
It's not my favorite thing to do on the Garden Island. And another thing to mention is that the last time I did this hike, I lost both of my big toenails as a result of it. Mm-hmm. And when I met Rick, I didn't have toenails because of this hike.
Oh, that's funny.
So when he met me, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wear sandals because my toes are gnarly. Yeah, and then I dragged him on the hike. But he was much better off than I was. And I'll just say, I know everybody is probably just itching to go out and do this hike now after this glowing review. So if you do, you have to get a permit now. Not a permit exactly. You have to get a permit to go all the way to the end to do the camping. Mm-hmm. But you have to have a reservation now and take a shuttle because parking and people driving up there, it's literally just like the tiniest little road with one-way bridges all the way up there. And so it was really affecting the community of people who really live there with just tourists and traffic all the time. So now they have a shuttle system and you have to book it in advance. So
that probably helps them like keep track of people who have been stuck
and
huge. Have not returned. Yeah.
Yes. A guy did not we were the last shuttle home, of course, because of my slowness. And we were waiting for somebody for a while and they didn't come off. So, I don't think it's a stretch to say somebody gets severely injured or dies every couple of weeks. Like people fall, hit their head. If you slipped once, you could literally knock all your teeth out because it's so rocky and so muddy. It's really, the whole time I was like, what am I doing here? Why is this happening?
Yeah. It sounds like your travel tip is don't do this hike. But
no.
Can I just add? I bet this would make a world of difference if you had the right shoes on. You wouldn't be so slippery. Like, I really think that would have helped you.
I think that would have helped a lot. So
How long did this
yeah,
take you? So it's 8 miles.
8 hours at least. And that's with stopping at the beach for lunch and then stopping to swim in the waterfall.
No, I would say that's quicker than I thought. Especially
It
because
might have
you're
taken
climbing.
longer.
It
Yeah, it
probably
might
took
have
you longer.
taken.
8 hours would be impressive.
I mean, it's at least an hour for each mile. So if that tells you, because normally what does it take? Like 20 minutes to leisurely walk a mile?
About 30 for like to nonstop just walk. But if you're climbing and stopping and taking pictures and
I would say here's my travel tip. I'm not going to say don't do it, but I'm going to say take it really super, super duper seriously. And tip for me in the future, don't do something that is very strenuous early in your vacation, because oh my gosh, did it affect every step we took for the next 6 days. And we were in so much pain. I mean, going up one step, I could have just died. Like, it was that kind of pain where it felt like somebody just kind of stabbed me all up and down my legs. My core hurt. Within 2 days, I got the worst pain I've ever had in my arm that I still have. I got a pinched nerve in my arm from hiking. Rick is still wearing a knee brace. It has been a month.
you guys are old.
Like, listen, yeah, I would say if you're not a person who hikes a lot, this is not your hike. There are many other hikes to do. Like, don't be suckered in to thinking that this is like an easy, fun thing to do on your vacation. It took up a whole day of our vacation, and I really regret that. I regret not sitting at the spa with like a margarita or a Mai Tai at the beautiful hotel we paid to stay at. You know what I mean? Instead, we paid $80 to go get like permanent health damage and lose toenails. So there's that.
Well, All Trails did say it's hard, and All Trails, I feel like, is always a little bit off. So to me, that means it's very hard. So good job. You did a very hard hike.
After this, I feel like I could do anything. But also don't ever let me hike again. I'm out. I'm done. I'm good. Get out of here.
At least now you have like evidence not to do it. Like, listen to your own podcast.
Right. Next time I go to Kauai, please, everyone, send this to me and be like, I just want to remind you that you aren't who you think you are. You're not as tough as you think you are. Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah,
great
but
stuff,
do go
man.
to Kauai. Do go to Kauai. Just, know what you're in for when you hike.
Yeah, have a White Lotus moment, not a hiking moment. All right, what are you doing this week?
What am I doing this week? What a question.
Yeah.
How do I know?
It's real easy.
I don't know, man. I'm just.
Aren't you throwing a party?
That's next week.
Oh.
Yeah, we got people coming in from Bolivia. We have a party that's coming up. I got to do my annual 1,000 cookie bake off. Just, holiday things, and wrapping up AAA podcast stuff for the year, finishing my last projects for that, last episodes, getting ready for January. There's a lot going on. How about you? What are you up to?
Got a Christmas party tonight that Ben is throwing for work.
Oh yeah, Ben's party.
Then we have our anniversary dinner at Chatham's on Saturday. Other things, just hanging out.
Do you have anything you'd like to tell the class?
Not that everyone doesn't already know, but hey, I'm pregnant.
What? You are?
Yeah. For 20 weeks, I have been pregnant. I know I don't look pregnant at all.
What a liar you are.
I'm so trim.
You lied to
Actually,
our podcast audience for 20 weeks.
I was looking at my face today, and I was like, oh, I might be pregnant.
Are you showing it in your face more than anywhere else?
Oh no, definitely my stomach, where you have finally popped.
Yay. Well, good. Now you can wear stretchy pants, and it's just, you have a great excuse. I'm happy for you.
Oh yeah, jeans are out. We are done with jeans. Yeah, we're having a little boy in April.
We're pumped. Yeah. Our family is pumped. probably nobody's more pumped than Grandma Liz. She is like
Yeah.
ready. So, and I'm pretty pumped too. I'm pretty stoked.
It's gonna be a good time. So everyone get ready for April because
Yeah, that'll be here
other than
before we
that,
know
just
it.
Christmassy things. Yeah.
On that note, I think we can probably wrap up today's adventure. We hope you enjoyed the ride and maybe even learned a thing or two about traveling with a little chaos thrown in.
Yeah, and if you loved this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a wild story or a travel tip from us. You know, like don't go on a hike. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can leave us a review. We'd love to hear what you think, but only if it's positive.
Yes, that's true. If you don't like us, please don't tell us, and also just block us so we don't have to bother you. Also, on that note, come hang out with us on social media. You can follow us at the Jet Sisters on Instagram or wherever you get your social media fix. Share your favorite travel disaster with us. We're always looking for ones to talk about. We might share it in an upcoming episode.
Until next time, remember the only bad adventure is the one you did not take. Stay curious, stay safe, and most importantly,
stay alive out there, y'all.
Goodbye. Bye.